There are 320 members in the sports club. Each class holds 40 people. If each member joins only one class, can you find the number of classes in this club? The 320 members are divided into groups of 40. How many groups are there? What's the answer? I do know that 32 divided by 4 equals 8. But would 320 divided by 40 be equal to 80, 800, or maybe 8,000? How many classes are there in the sports club? In this math episode of Madrasati, we will learn ways that help you easily divide big numbers. In a sports club, 320 members are divided into classes of 40 people each. How many classes are there? How do we solve this? First, we ignore the zeros. We are left with 32 divided by 4. The answer is 8 because 8 fours go in 32, or 8 times 4 equals 32. Second, in division, we must cancel out the same number of zeros in both numbers, and what is left is added to the answer. Here, we cancel the 0 from 320 and the 0 from 40. We end up with no zeros. So, our answer is 8. There are 8 classes. Let's say there are 3,200 members in the sports club who want to enroll in classes of 40 each. 32 divided by 4 is 8. Then we cancel the same number of zeros from both numbers. We are left with only one zero, which we will add to the answer. Easy trick? Let's try one more example. There are 27,000 members in the sports club and 300 classes. So this time, instead of finding the number of classes, we will have to find the number of members that can join each class. I know the number of groups, but I need to find the number of members in each group. First, let's divide 27 by 3. How many 3's go in 27? 9. Good job. When we divide, we think about multiplication. 9 times 3 equals 27. Next, we cancel the same number of zeros from each side. How many zeros can we cancel? 2 from each side. We end up with 1 0, so each class holds 90 members. Let's have 2 more examples, and we'll use the same trick to divide. 300 divided by 50. First, we ignore the zeros. What 2 numbers are we dividing here? 3 divided by 5? 3 is less than 5. 5 times what equals to 3? Nothing. It doesn't work. What we are dividing here is 30 by 5. The 0 is part of the first number. 30 divided by 5 equals to 6, since 6 times 5 equals 30. So when we cancel zeros from both sides, make sure not to cancel the 0 that is part of the 30. We cannot cancel this one, nor can we add it to the answer. Let's cancel 1 0 from each number. We are not left with any extra zeros. The answer is 6. Look at the second division sentence. Ignore the zeros. What 2 numbers are we dividing? Is it 7 divided by 7 or 70 divided by 7? Does it work both ways? 7 divided by 7 equals to 1. We cancel 2 zeros from each number, and we will be left with 1 0. The final answer would be 10. And if we go with 70 divided by 7, which is 10, we cancel 2 zeros from each number, and we won't be left with any extra zeros. The answer is 10, regardless of how we choose to think about it. Let's now listen to a song, then look at the second division strategy.
There were 48 fish in a tank. They were squeezed and squashed squashed and crammed. There were 48 fish in a tank. They were squeezed and squashed and crammed. Pet store owner decides to divide them. He puts 3 fish in each tank. How many tanks does he need? There were 48 fish in a tank. They were squeezed and squashed and crammed. There were 48 fish in a tank. They were squeezed and squashed and crammed.
So the 48 fish are divided into groups of 3. How many tanks are needed? In other words, what number multiplied by 3 equals 48? 48 is a big number. We can't solve it only by thinking about the multiplication table. Let's break this number into smaller parts that we can solve. 48 is made of 30 and 18. 30 plus 18 equals 48. So instead of dividing 48 by 3, I will divide 30 by 3, then 18 by 3. 30 divided by 3 is 10. By the way, I chose numbers 30 and 18 because it is easy to divide both numbers by 3. But any 2 numbers that have the sum of 48 would also work. 18 divided by 3 is 6. We must now add both answers. 10 plus 6 equals 16. So 48 divided by 3 equals 16. 16 fish tanks are needed in the pet store. 96 hamsters are placed in groups of 4 per nest box. How many nest boxes are there? We need to break 96 down into smaller parts that we can easily divide by 4. It is easy to divide 40 by 4. The answer is 10. And there are 2 40s and 96. What is left? 40 and 40 make an 80, and we would have 16 left. So 40 plus 40 plus 16 give the sum of 96. You can choose any 3 numbers that have a sum of 96. Now let's divide each of these by 4. 40 divided by 4 equals 10. We have 2 40s. And 16 divided by 4 is 4. Add all 3 answers. 10 plus 10 plus 4 equals 24. There are 24 nest boxes in total. We will have one last example. The total number of dog treats in the store is 465. They come in packages of 5. How many packages are there? So what do we know and what are we finding? We know the total number of items, 465 dog treats. We know that they are grouped in 5s. There are 5 in each group, and we need to find the number of groups. We are dividing 465 by 5. This is hard. How can we split 465 in 2 to make this easier? Look at the first 2 digits, 46. What is a number close to 46 that can be easily divided by 5? 45 is divisible by 5. So let's split 465 into 450, and what's left? 15. 450 plus 15 give the sum of 465. We'll now divide 450 by 5 and 15 by 5. That's easy. Ignore the 0. 45 divided by 5 is 9. So 450 divided by 5 equals 90. And 15 divided by 5 equals to 3. Add both answers. 90 plus 3 equals 93. In this episode, we learned 2 strategies that enable us to think and divide easily. See you next time. Bye, friends.
لمشاهدة المزيد من الحلقات زوروا سات 7 بلس.